headboards. I know that they were in many years ago and they're still in style, but I regret purchasing a neutral headboard and frame because of the amount of stains that it accumulates over the years. I have had this neutral headboard and frame since, I'm gonna say, July of 2017. The minute I purchased it and set it up in my house, I recorded my first YouTube video ever, which was my bedroom tour. And the thing with this whole nude theme, it looks amazing on camera, but when you go up to it close and over the years, it accumulates stains. It accumulates, you know, the body fluids when we're sleeping. It accumulates everything. One of the things that I feel like I've wasted my money on and that I regret buying as a minimalist, because I purchased this thinking that it will last me forever, because I'm like, you know what, it's gonna stay in style, it's nude. And now I'm sitting here thinking I cannot wait to be able to have the money to get rid of this, because it is ripped. Obviously it's ripped from my cat. It just looks disgusting, and that's why I always have the pillows hanging up like that, because if they were down, you guys would see an enormous amount of stains. It looks like someone took a frying pan and was like frying a bunch of onion rings, and it just looks like oil all over the headboard. And I have tried to clean it numerous times with the little green machine, the Bissell machine. It does not work. It actually made it worse. I think it's because the type of fabric it is. But anyways, I can go on and on why I regret purchasing something like this, but I'm taking it as a lesson learned. And the next headboard and frame, which I already have one in mind, but it's far out of our budget range. Maybe 4 years from now we can finally afford it. It's this one right here. I want to go with real wood. I want to go with something that is going to last and not accumulate stains. So that is something that we're going for next. My boyfriend already agreed on it. And yeah, the day I throw this out is going to be the best day of my life. That is a lesson learned with my minimalist journey. So the minimalist aesthetic is not always aesthetically pleasing. Ikea desk and chair. I no longer have my Ikea desk and computer chair. I've actually have gone through 2 Ikea desks. So you guys have seen me go through most of the furniture that I've had on this channel. I had a giant white Ikea desk. It was the desk that all the makeup gurus had back in the day. I remember purchasing that when I lived with my mom, and I was so happy. I saved up money. It was like $120. That desk over the years was just way too big for me. So when I moved out of my first apartment, I ended up giving it to a friend, and then I also had a stool which I gave away, because sitting on a stool while editing videos, listen, you want to talk about back pain? That is a back pain that is just unbearable, okay? If you're sitting on a stool for 6 to 8 hours editing just one video, it was horrible, okay? But once when I got rid of all that stuff, I was like, you know what, Ikea is cheap. So I went back there back in 2020, and I decided to purchase a smaller desk, the bamboo one, and a computer chair from them. I outgrew that desk so much. For me, I just felt like it was super wobbly. It wasn't good quality. I feel like Ikea's computer chairs are the worst chairs ever. And I went with looks with the one that I ended up grabbing, and I definitely regret having the desk and the chair because it caused a lot of back pain. Most of the time, I never even wanted to work in here with my tiny little office on the side. I would go straight to the dining room table because I had more room and the chairs were a lot comfier there. So finally last summer, the end of August, I got rid of my desk and computer chair. I gave it to my boyfriend to put in his one of his properties. So he put it in that unit. So technically it didn't go to waste completely, but that desk and chair was just something that I have learned a huge lesson about, especially with Ikea furniture. Like, Ikea furniture can be good, but it also can be too good to be true. And I will say that I'm not perfect. Even though I have been a minimalist for a long time, I make mistakes too, okay? I go by looks as well as, you know, the next person. So yeah, lesson learned. Fancy kitchen cups. I have talked about this before in my vlogs. When I lived alone, I purchased these nice looking cups from Bed Bath & Beyond. Most of you guys will remember them. I'll have a picture here if I can find a picture. They were nice. They looked like they were glass, but they were plastic. And I was trying to think ahead because I had my niece and nephew. They were little back then and they would come over. And I was thinking ahead of time where it's like, all right, I don't want to have glass, and then they break it and then they hurt themselves. So I was trying to just think like, all right, I think plastic will be better. Those plastic cups were very expensive because you're paying for the looks once again. And they were not durable at all. They would get scratches on them. They would turn out foggy over time. So eventually I did have to throw them out because they would crack. So the craziest thing is that over time, you know, when I started living with my boyfriend back in 2020, I realized that I could have just saved our glass tomato jars, like the tomato sauce that comes in the jars. You can just save those, wash them out, and use that as a cup. I could have saved myself a ton of money. Even though I was thinking of my niece and nephew with the whole glass situation, they're not my kids. At the end of the day, they will only visit me like once a week or less than that. So thinking ahead sometimes can make you stay behind or can make you waste money. So that's another lesson that I have learned. Even though I regret purchasing those cups, I kind of made it up over time with saving my tomato glass jars. Now, free mason jar. You pay $4 for tomato sauce and you get a free glass jar. So I save all of them. If I don't need them, I will wash them out and still ask family members if they need some glass mason jars, because mason jars alone, they are very expensive. So if your tomato sauce or any other sauce that comes in a glass jar, save it. Do yourself a favor and save it. Even if it's not aesthetically pleasing, there's ways to make it look aesthetically pleasing if that's your thing. 100% organic cotton robes or waffle robes. This is another thing that I purchased, I want to say like a year ago or 2 years ago, and I have gone through robes like you wouldn't believe. I cannot find a robe that fits me well. And I have talked about this before, but yes, I have gained weight over the years, which when I gain weight all up here more than below. So my breasts are a lot bigger than they were before, and my face and my arms, everything is just bigger. So when I was purchasing robes, I was going with what the other minimalist people buy on YouTube, you know, the minimalist community. And I was like, all right, if it works for them, it might work for me. No, the waffle robe was way too itchy. I could not take it anymore. The sleeves were up to here because it had like that short sleeve look, and I was freezing in the winter time. I don't like short sleeves. So that robe I gave to my mother. And she actually likes it. Maybe I'm just picky with robes, but when you spend money on certain things, you want to make sure that you're getting what you want. And then I had a 100% organic cotton robe. It was on sale. It's actually waiting for a couple months for this robe to be on sale because I heard it was the best robe ever. What was the company? I think it was called Under the Canopy, something like that. One of the worst robes I have ever purchased. So it was originally $98 and it went on sale for like 20 something. I think it was around Black Friday it went on sale. So I purchased it, and the first couple of days I liked it. It was soft, it was, you know, super cozy. And then I noticed, you know, with my breasts being large, when I would wrap it up like this, over time you would have one breast coming out. So I would end up like this around the house, I want to say 5 minutes or 10 minutes after wrapping it, and I had to keep wrapping it. Even though it had the string inside of the robe, it just didn't work out. I don't understand why these robes suck so bad. And also the material. So I don't know, I've never owned anything with like organic cotton because I just never had that kind of money before. So that was my first experience with organic cotton, and it started to like have like wrinkles, not wrinkles, like it started to get really thin over here and look very dull and dingy looking. The rope would get, how do I explain this? So say this is the rope. Eventually it will turn into like a little tiny string. So it felt like I was wearing the tightest corset ever, even though the robe wasn't tight. So I ended up giving that robe away as well. So lesson learned, those are the two things that I regret buying. And there's other robes and they never work out for me. So I'm still on the hunt for a decent robe. I'll let you guys know if that dream ever comes true. But now I know, don't go by what others say, okay? I went by what all the other minimalist people were buying on YouTube, and even though they're aesthetically pleasing, they have neutral colors, and you know, it's considered organic fabric. Like I said before, some things aren't as they seem, and it just didn't work out for me. So I'm taking a break from buying robes. You guys know I'm saving money, but sometimes I wish I had a robe to just wear around the house. But I know that my robe shopping has always failed me. So that is on pause. And like I said, I have learned a valuable lesson with all the money that I have wasted on robes itself. Plant stands with legs. Now, I have my Monstera beside me. I liked this plant stand again. It was considered very minimal and very chic looking at the time. I honestly hate it. I hate it now. It's always tipping over. I feel like it's making the plant look a little bit more leggy. And for me, what I like now is pots like this rather than having something like this. So I think the whole plants with the legs outdated very, very fast. And I just don't see myself purchasing another plant pot with legs because I just don't like the look of it anymore. So this plant pot beside me was very expensive. I purchased it back in 2018. It was around $50 or $60. I think it was like $64, honestly. Yeah, I regret purchasing this plant pot, and I cannot wait till the day that we have room where I can repot this Monstera. This Monstera has been in the same plant pot since 2018. She definitely needs a good repotting, but I'm waiting until I have the money to purchase a decent pot that is going to last me a while and that doesn't have legs. And the last thing I regret buying as a minimalist is the Revlon blowout device. This is it right here. I don't have it on me. I recently got rid of it back in early September. I gave it to my sister. I hate this item. I've seen everybody have such good luck with it. And I don't know if it's because my hair type. This is my natural hair. I just took a shower this morning. This is how it dries. It's very like frizzy, wavy, a little bit on the puffy side. I'm letting it do its natural thing because this little device fried my freaking hair. I used it probably like 2 to 3 times and I did get volume from it, but it only lasted like less than a half hour. And instead of getting a ton of volume like everybody else was getting, I was getting a ton of split ends. My hair was never the same. So I know this device went viral for everybody, for the makeup community, for the minimalist community, everybody. And I know it's affordable. I paid $32 for it in the summertime last year. So it was on sale and I thought, you know what, this is a sign. This is a sign that I should purchase it. And I should have tried it out right away and returned it right away. For my hair type, I just don't think that a device like this was good. I think it did more harm than good, honestly, for my hair. And it took me a while for my hair to get back to that silky, smooth look because I'm telling you guys, my ends would like stick up. And don't mind my ends right now, I do need a haircut, but my ends would stick up after my shower when I was using this device. And I will say too, it does vary on different hair types. And I was using a heat protector and I was using it on the coolest setting and I never used it on the highest setting. So I don't know why this fried my hair, but I have learned a valuable lesson that I rather go with more of a natural look than to just mess with heat tools these days. Yeah, so this was the last time I used a heat tool. I haven't used any heat on my hair since this tool back in September. So I'm letting my hair do its thing, letting it heal on its own, and I've already told it that I'm sorry for using this. Let me know down below if this device worked out for you. My sister loves it. We do have different hair types. My sister's hair is more pin straight. They don't have waves. They don't have body like mine. I take more after my mom, and my sisters take after my father's side, and this worked out for them. But I have never seen anybody online say otherwise. I've seen so many success stories with this device, but once again, I thought it would work for me, and I thought that if this item can replace my straightener and my curling wand, then I can just have this one device. No, I still own my straightener and curling wand because those are the 2 items that have never fried my hair like this thing has. And like I said, I only used it 3 times. And I'm just trying out simpler, healthier methods for my hair instead of going this route ever again. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you would like a part 2 because there is a lot of other things that I regret purchasing as a minimalist. Things that I wasted my money on that I wish I never did. But I am learning, okay? Life is all about learning lessons. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed and I will catch you in the next video.